Welcome to part 15 of Dynasty Warriors 9, and in this episode we're going to finish off the Battle of Jianyi by taking on the 8 Gates Formation. And the only reason why the 8 Gates Formation is here is because Cao Ren is leading an attack on Jianyi. Jianyi, which is in the Jing province. This is basically Cao Cao saying he wants Jing province, and he wants Jing province now. Well, we've done everything we can to try to slow down the 8 Gates Formation, and now we're gonna have to go through the 8 Gates Formation. Here's the thing, if Liu Bei is the person you're gonna be controlling, then guess what? They're going to change up who is the commanding officer in this battle. Here, it's gonna be Su Shu and Sun Qian. Yeah, those are the two guys that's gonna be in charge of this battle, and if anything happened to them, well, the battle will fail. So on that note, we'll just have to wait till they're finished, and then we're just gonna go after the areas that is weakest. The whole thing about the 8 Gates Formation, that it's practically a maze, and that's one of the things that Dynasty Warriors had pretty much carried over from the original mission for the 8 Gates Formation. And if I'm not mistaken, it made its debut in Dynasty Warriors 7, because the 8 Gates Formation was not in 6, if I'm not mistaken. They skipped over the 8 Gates Formation and just went straight over to fighting Zhuge Liang. That's it. In fact, I think 7 and 8 were, in fact, no, 7 was the 8 Gates Formation and only the 8 Gates Formation. 8 was not only 8 Gates, but also fighting Zhuge Liang as well. So you don't have to worry about having to find Zhuge Liang. That's gonna be done cutscene-wise. On that note, as you can see, there's going to be captains, but not actual, well, I wouldn't say captains, but more along the lines of ranking officers that are all going to be with high morale. And the more you do damage to the 8 Gates Formation, the higher your morale will skyrocket. Because of everything we did, it lowered troop morale. And because of the fire, the shields and swords are pretty much weakened. So if you go to where there's actually swordsmen, it'll be easier for you to break into the 8 Gates Formation and do a lot of damage. But you want to try to destroy the formation as much as humanly possible, and once you do, points of the formation will start to weaken. And when all the points of the formation is done, Cao Ren will come after you. Yes, he's the final point of the 8 Gate. I mean, it is an actual strategy, but here's the thing. Cao Ren actually ran out of supplies, and that's how he lost. He had a really good strategy, but the thing is, supplies was the big issue. Because it was a hard march to Jin, and he did the formation as long as it can, and afterwards he ran out of supplies. So they didn't really technically win. It's more along the lines of he fell back to regroup because Cao Cao made a second attack. All in all, once Liu Bei finishes with his with this battle right here, Jing would be all but doomed. And that's due to the fact that around this time, Liu Bei was about to kick the bucket, and the Kai family was going to take over Jing province. Now, funny thing, Kai Wen-ji is an actual character too. The thing of the matter is, she is not a part of the whole excursion in Jing, and that is because of the fact that Cai Wen-ji was already on Cao Cao's forces by this time. She was actually put up for slavery, and that's why, and Cao Cao freed her, so that's why she's on his force, because he's practically protecting her. But all in all, she's not really much of a fighter. However, she actually has a flute instead of her harp, which is also Zenji's weapon as well. But yes, clone weapons have come back in full force. And that's all the big complaints for people. But yeah, I only mentioned Sai Wenji because, of course, the Sai family would be responsible. I only mentioned, no, not Sai, Kai. Gotta get it right. It's a hard K, not an actual silent C. But anyway, Kai Wenji basically was in Cao Cao's forces by this time, and the only reason why I mention that is because Kai Mao is also the one guy who practically would be dead by, if I'm not mistaken, the time Turn B starts. And because he died, I think whatever role Sai Wenji had was already done with, because that was actually her brother-in-law, if I'm not mistaken. But she never had that much of a role to begin with. She was just rescued, and it was in Cao Cao's custody at the time. But she would practically be around Kirby and somewhere along the lines of in later battles.
You have my gratitude.
So it's not really much to it. And I just practically defeated Cao Ren because, again, he was coming in rallying, and there wasn't really much to rally for once I broke through the formation.
It is hard to believe that we could claim victory over Cao Cao's colossal army with so few men.
Yeah, we haven't had a win like this in ages! I've got to say, it feels pretty good!
This victory is due to the commitment you all showed, and to Shushu's strategies.
Well, it's really thanks to the faith you showed in me, Master Liu Bei. Not many leaders would appoint an unknown entity like myself as their strategist.
And my faith in you has been proven justified. There will be no problems in convincing everyone to cooperate with your plans going forward. Shushu, will you consent to joining our army and fighting with us again?
I could ask for no greater honor than to be appointed strategist to one such as yourself. And I would like to accept without hesitation. But
What's the matter? Is there some problem?
the thing is, my mother is very ill. She is in Xucheng and is being looked after by Cao Cao's people. If I stay by your side any longer, I fear that she will be in danger.
I see. That does make things difficult.
In fact, I should have never really helped Master Liu Bei at all, but I met him and found myself drawn to his greatness of spirit. And before I knew it, I am a weak man. I am not strong enough to abandon my mother to her fate and serve you.
You mustn't be so downhearted. Why not simply come back to us once your mother's condition improves?
Master Liu Bei, you are too kind, but I cannot accept your offer. The fact that I cannot turn my back on my mother is a fatal flaw. It makes me wholly unsuited to the role of strategist.
What are you doing? Now you're just bringing everyone down.
Yes, I'm sorry. I should never have come here. Master Liu Bei.
May fortune favor you, Shushu. I will pray for your mother's speedy recovery.
Thank you. Before I leave, I must give you a parting gift. It is the least I can do for you. Here in Jin Province, there is a genius known as the Sleeping Dragon. His name is Zhuge Liang, and he is a far more accomplished strategist than I am. I suggest that you arrange a meeting with him.
The sleeping dragon, Zhuge Liang.
That's it for Su Shu. Now we're going to go and meet up with the sleeping dragon, otherwise known as the man who is responsible for the downfall of Shu. No, I wish I was kidding in that front. We're going to meet Zhuge Liang, and eventually somewhere along the line we're going to meet Pang Tong as well. But the most important thing is we're going to meet Zhuge Liang, and this is where Liu Bei will go towards his path of benevolence. Because it's serious business.
Master Liu Bei, allow me to ask you one thing. Amongst this chaos, tell me, what do you fight for?
I want a world without tears. A world without sadness. I've come this far wanting that, yet not doing anything to achieve it. My thoughts run ahead, but I can't see the path that I must take. Master Zhuge Liang, please, show me my one true path.
The only path I can show you is the one that might lead to heartbreak at times. Faced with that and with suffering, can you move forward without turning aside?
If it leads to the world that I want.
I can see how much this means to you.
Then?
I, Zhuge Liang, will give my life to help you achieve your desire, Master Liu Bei. There is currently no army in the land which can match that of Cao Cao. No one can hope to defeat Cao Cao alone. The second most powerful force is led by Sun Quan of Jiandong. His army is no match for Cao Cao's, but he has a solid base in Jiandong, populated with loyal followers. In order to take the first steps toward the land you dream of, Master Liu Bei, we must develop enough strength to stand alongside these two great forces.
But as you know, Zhuge Liang, I have no home of my own. What you speak of is impossible.
If we can secure a land upon which to stand, and allow your grand ambition to gather more followers, then there is every chance it could happen. Cao Cao seized upon a fated moment in time, while Sun Quan used the power of a land base. For you, my lord, the key to drawing the people to you is in your virtue and benevolence. You must walk the path of righteousness. Once you have begun, we will join forces with Sun Quan, and together we will oppose Cao Cao.
The path of righteousness. That is the road for me. Your words have cleared the fog from my mind. I see clearly now a vision for the future. Allow me once more to formally request your help. Will you guide me as my strategist? Help me defeat Cao Cao and enable me to build a land of peace.
I will. I pledge to use every ounce of my mental acuity to support your grand ambition, my lord.
Zhuge Liang, I am putting you in charge of our forces. You must lead us safely out of this crisis.
Very well. I will find a way to repel Cao Cao's forces.
Wait just a minute, brother. I can understand why you want to rely on a strategist, but we don't know anything about this guy. I don't feel comfortable with him ordering me around.
I must say that I feel Zhang Fei has a point. It is one thing for him to propose a strategy, but another matter entirely to entrust the command of the entire army to a newcomer.
Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, I trust Zhuge Liang. I ask that you comply with his orders.
Well, if you say so, brother.
Very well.
Thank you both for understanding. Now, if you will allow me, I would like to explain the plan. The enemies outnumber us significantly. In order to overcome this deficiency, I intend to overcome Cao Cao's forces with a fire attack.
Huh, you really think it'll be that easy?
Give him a chance, Zhang Fei.
Victory will be impossible without your help. I hope you will give your all for our cause.
And for the third time, there's actually going to be a short part this time around. Because in the next episode, we're going to escape from Jing. This time, we're going to be heading out west. This is RPMan 985. I'll see you all when we start making our plans to evade Cao Cao once again in part 16. And let me assure you, this one's going to be a little bit longer than what the last escape was. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out for now.